Alrighty. Let's get it on, Byron. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by the Sportscast. Today is June 6, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Sportscast on all our channels: YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, and iTunes. If you're on iTunes, please subscribe to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk on the podcast. You can also go to Spotify, look at the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Subscribe, leave us a rating and review. It'll help us out tremendously. We are live every week streaming on YouTube and on Facebook every Thursday at 8 p.m. Let's get ready to rumble. A lot of NFL talk, a lot of big money, big bags out there, Byron. Big money coming out there. We broke the news last week, baby, on the receivers. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
A lot of money, a lot of money, a lot of money.
Lots. Generational wealth of money in the receiver market.
The only one that's not getting paid is CD Lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His contract is out there, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's happening. I heard Malik Neighbors is having a good OTA.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that. We got some NBA finals. I want to talk about a little bit about the Giants. We also have a special guest joining us, big NBA enthusiast from New York. Went to St. John's. Chris Mullen territory and Mark Jackson territory. St. John's University. My brother went to St. John's University, and he's also a big Laker fan. We won't hold that against him. Welcome to the show, Joshua Clouden. I hit admit. You there, Joshua? He's joining in now.
What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing today?
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing well. Happy to be here. Super excited. Super excited to talk some shop with you guys.
All right, well, get ready because we're going to talk a little bit of football. We're going to talk some mostly football first, but then we're going to get to the NBA Finals. I want to get your opinion. Byron's already picked his team, so it's already too late for Byron to go against me because he likes going against me every time. No matter what I pick, he's going to go against me.
I don't care.
It hasn't worked out for him until I made him until I broke him to his knees and he had to pick the team. So,
I did.
But yeah, you had to go with the same team I picked. You finally had to say, all right, I surrender.
Is it on videotape? Did we tape it?
Of course it is. By the way, Byron has a habit of deny, deflect. He makes me have to go pull the clip to prove that he said it. He doesn't understand. But this is live. I'm recording it every week. All right. Well, let's talk about what's happening there. Let's talk about NFL. Okay, a little bit about the Giants. I heard Malik Neighbors, which I'm happy with. By the way, Malik Neighbors is the Giants receiver pick. My only concern with Malik, I liked everything I saw and so forth. But when he came out with just, some of the comments that came out about him, the way he presented himself, he shouldn't judge a book by its covers. But we got burnt by Kadarius Toney, right? Where he wanted to get into rapping. He wasn't a good fit for the Giants. And he goes to Kansas City, gets lucky, has a decent game. I believed in him until he started talking smack about the Giants. Then his career is gone down the tubes. He's already got released by Kansas City, right? So Malik Neighbors gets picked and comes up with this big chain and this, and I hear he's a rapper and he talks a little bit about Daniel Jones. But hopefully we can put that aside. Sometimes that's just youth, you know what I mean? I want the kid to do good, but you need to be focused on the game, you know what I mean? And Byron, you know how it is. Football ain't like any other sport. If you're not focused, you're gonna get hurt.
Yes.
Is that a fair statement? If you're not focused, I don't care how great you are, you're going to get hurt, right? You need to focus on game and play. And, when you're a rookie, look at Kadarius Toney. With all the receiver market going out, he already had a Super Bowl, was productive in the Super Bowl, and then started running his mouth, having problems in Kansas City. And now look how much receivers are getting paid.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement, Byron?
Yeah,
I mean, the kid had the talent. He ain't going to get the bag. He ain't get that big money now.
No.
Those receivers are getting paid crazy money, and he had a chance to sneak his way up because he's about finishing up with his rookie contracts, right? Because he's only 3 or 4 years in the league.
3 years, yeah.
3 or 4 years in the league, so his rookie contract's coming up. That's a point where you're not focused. As a rookie, you got to get focused, get through your rookie contract years. Is that fair?
You always want to get to that second contract.
You want to get to that second contract, and he, with his talking, with his dropping balls, with his mistakes on the Kansas City team, and you're playing with one of the greatest quarterbacks of our time. I mean, I don't know about you. I'd stay quiet, just keep playing. But
Yeah.
Byron, talk to me about Malik Neighbors. What's happening out there in New York?
Well, they say he's doing, well, up there in New York. We keep forgetting about the missing tight end, Darren Waller. He's another guy that's on his music career, whatever he's doing right now. We forgot about him. He's kind of retired, semi. I don't know if I want to play. He's right there. Right there. The other guy they're talking about is Tracy Tyler, I think, running back. I get his name right later, but it's a rookie running back that they have that is, open up little eyes, and don't be surprised that he gets a lot of the second carries. Then you have Evan Neal
That's
today.
like, wait, slow down. You're going too fast.
What?
Hold on. That's music to my ears.
Okay.
Right? Come on, Byron. You know how we like to
I
play
was
in New
trying to
York.
sneak through. I was trying to sneak
Don't
through.
sneak that through, baby. Come on, man. You know I want it. We need a running back. You know how we play, right? We need two or three of the running backs. And we're paying running backs today, we could use two or three of them. No, they're not
Yep.
paying them top dollar.
Nope.
I mean, you even made a comment about Chris McCaffrey. That's it. Like he's getting 19 million compared to 35 million from receivers. And not for nothing, running backs take a lot more hits, harder hits than receivers.
Yep.
Yes, Byron.
Yes, they do.
I mean, they get hit almost on every down as a
Oh,
running back
the kid's
because
name
they're
is
either blocking or they're carrying the ball.
his name is Tyrone Tracy. That's the rookie's name. That's the kid's name.
Nice. Fantasy pickers out there. There you go. Tyrone Tracy. I'd look for him. Giants like to run the ball. We have to with that line. All right. Who else, Byron? Right, we got to be happy.
Let's
We're having a decent field and running back.
let,
Malik Neighbors is doing well. We maybe have something going on.
well, let's pump the brakes. Evan Neal was on the sideline, riding a bicycle on the sideline. He wasn't
That's your
out there
boy,
with
isn't
the
it?
old line, man. He's killing me. This guy. Uh, some of you could sit there and say that has something to do. He did have ankle surgery at the end of last year. He got a new position coach. He's still playing the same position.
Stop giving him excuses, Byron. You've been down on him
I'm trying to give him
from
excuses.
after his first year.
I'm trying to give him.
You know who Evan Neal is, Joshua?
No.
Evan Neal's one of our first round picks from Alabama, right?
Number 7
He's
pick in the draft.
number 7 pick in the draft. He's gigantic,
6'7",
lineman,
335.
and has not paid dividends.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I
If
just
you
said
don't say,
something.
wait. He's been god awful.
Oh.
He's been god. He's been awful. Don't say it. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it. He's been
That's bad.
awful.
Man, but sick. That's a big guy. Wasn't the issue though that he was actually a left tackle, and we made him a right tackle.
No, he played all along the front at Alabama. He was a left tackle when he came out. So he played right tackle at Alabama. He played left guard at Alabama. He's played the guard. He's played inside and out.
That big to play
Yeah,
a guard.
but the problem is that the speed. It just looks like he's not fast enough. Getting out of the stance, and they're just beating around the corner. Micah Parsons had a field day. DeMarcus, Lawrence, the other guy. It was a bunch of them that had a field day, and it's like, you know what? Back in the day, yeah. He's weak. Yeah, tag, you're it. Just keep swapping over there, and everybody takes a turn getting a sack. That's pretty much what he's been going for. But he's been bad. But hopefully, with the new offensive line coach, they could work it out. But right now,
Well, he's already on the sideline riding a bike. That's not a good sign.
he's riding a bicycle on the sideline.
Audio.
Okay. Well, no, that means his leg needs to be warming up. It's the cardio. It's more of like the injury, like loosening up the ligaments.
He's just on cardio duty, light duty.
Yeah. So, all right. Who else? Byron? Anybody else? They talking about Daniel Jones. They talking about what?
They were talking about he's participating in 7-on-7. Daniel Jones, he threw a good pass today. He said allegedly, 40 yards down the field, somebody caught something finally.
He can throw.
He can throw deep, but it's just the problem that you got to have time to throw deep. So with Evan Neal and the mismatch Paxworth line they're putting together, they should be fine. But Tyler Newman, the safety that drafted from Minnesota in the second round, is doing well. He's picking up the program. But since we did lose McKinney since he went to Green Bay, so You know, we need a safety, and some of the other guys that they already had in the safety positions to step up. But they should be a lot better than this year. And again, I'm gonna put it out there on tape, allegedly. Uh, Daniel Jones, comeback player of the year. Ah,
Okay, I don't. That's not gonna happen, but that's okay. Hey, I would. I mean, look, I like your kid. I didn't want another quarterback. I hope he does well. I would like to see us get some surprise guys. Giants have come through on running backs that came out of nowhere, right? I mean, we've had running backs that have done pretty well with us. We've always had some kind of running back, so we can get someone to take that place. Maybe they won't be a Saquon Barkley, but did you hear the report that they talked to Sirianni and they got on his case? They say, hey, I hear Giants fans saying, well, Giants fans are bothering me too much. I'm saying, hey, don't worry about it. We got your best player. And then
yeah,
they
yeah.
were going, Mad Dog was going off and saying that, like, nobody in the Giants really cares. And then it was a battle between, do we care? Do we not care? Hey, look, I like Saquon. I want to see him do well. I just don't want to see him do well against us. But you're not going to throw a dig at me because you got our best player. I mean, I'm going to throw a dig on you. You had great talent on paper last year and you bombed.
Yeah,
I
because they
mean,
did.
to me,
You know,
that's worse than just like you got my best player. You had great players last year and you did a lousy job.
and what did they do? They didn't turn the
Turn the
switch.
light, turn the switch up, turn the switch
Turn
up.
the switch. They didn't turn the switch.
Mhm. Do you, Joshua? Who's your team in football? You have a team?
Um, I don't have a team. I'm a players guy. I'm a players
Who
guy.
you
I
love?
definitely
Give us some players you love.
some players. All right, so I'm loving. I'm a big Odell guy. So I'm from New York, so I really tapped in with Odell, and I've been following him throughout his journey. I like Micah Parsons. I love just love what he does on the defensive end over there in Dallas. Um, QB wise, Patrick Mahomes, undeniable, right? Travis Kelce on the tight end side. I love storylines. I love seeing guys do well. I don't catch enough Justin Jefferson games. I think I need to catch a little bit more. Just after that contract, I think maybe he might be must see TV. And now that
He's definitely a must see TV. I mean, look at his numbers.
no, I know I just don't catch the games, and I currently live in the Miami area. So last year I had a real fun time watching the Dolphins. Tua, Tariq, Waddle, Barrios, the guys. That was a fun little time. Disappointing, but also fun.
Well, we started. I wanted to say the Jersey Boys Sports Talk started this conversation about wide receivers last Thursday. We kicked it off with your Miami Dolphins Waddle. Waddle got paid that contract, and that's when
84.
me and Byron and one of our guests, Eric Winters, we went through the show and we went through the receivers. And AJ Brown was Philly. He's a Philly fan. AJ Brown's up there, which is deserving. But now Tyreek Hill, he's not. You guys got a problem. Dolphins got a problem because Tyreek Hill is not. He was 2 years ago the highest paid. Now he's not, and now he's now plummeting. So he's going to have a problem. He says he ain't playing for the money. I guarantee you that mental process is going to change. Because Jalen Waddle got paid. Now you got Justin Jefferson just got paid. Albert A.G. Brown got his money. I got a whole list of the people here. Byron, before we go on that,
Devontae Smith
Dallas.
got his money.
Yeah, but we got other receivers that are coming up that are due. They're going to look to get paid. Like Tyreek Hill's going to want some money.
Nah.
CeeDee Lamb, and I even said it, CeeDee Lamb is deserving of right underneath Justin Jefferson money.
Ooh.
He's right there with AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson. And I'm not a Cowboys fan. Okay, but I'm such not a Cowboy fan that dude scared me every time he touched the ball. He scared me every time it was long.
He
That
did something
guy,
against Giants defense, though.
he does something against everybody. He's produced consistently,
Yeah.
consistently. You know, and with no matter what Dak is doing, whatever they're doing, he's getting his. And then Jerry keeps waiting, and where they got a problem, Byron. They don't have enough money to pay all those guys. They haven't even mentioned Tyrone. What's his name? Diggs. What's Diggs' first name? The defensive back that had the
Trayvon,
9 interceptions. Trayvon
Trayvon.
Diggs. They gotta pay him.
coming back off an ACL injury.
Yeah, so
It's
he's
not
gonna
big, but brother's still good though. I mean, when he was there, he made an impact.
he's gonna have to
I
wait
mean,
though.
yes, but it's coming down the line. So whatever they do now has to protect them on their cap later, and they
Yeah,
got
but
to pay Dak.
they got the three. Yeah, Dak, CD, and Micah, the big three. They got to pay this year because Dax is
Right.
what 55 million or whatever crazy amount. So yeah, all three of them are up for a massive amount of money.
He also said he doesn't play for the money.
Yeah, okay,
Let's see what happens.
that's a
Oh
lie.
yes.
Stop
That's
lying. Stop
well.
lying.
Let's see what happens. Well, Jerry waited a long time, and then ended up paying Dak big time, and it's not for nothing. I like Dak, but I honestly don't blame the Dallas quarterbacks. I truly believe it's a Jerry Jones issue because I like Tony Romo. Tony Romo put up numbers, and then Tony Romo, Dak did to Tony Romo what Tony Romo did to the quarterback beforehand, and he's put up numbers, but they still can't win the big games.
And
They
why
put up
does
numbers. You look at Tony Romo's numbers, you look at Dak's numbers,
Yeah,
they
you're
put up
right.
numbers, but they still can't get past one game in the playoffs.
And so it's Jerry.
It's all Jerry. I don't think
he's the,
they'll win another Super
he's the only one that's been there for
Bowl
30
until God
years.
rest
You
his
got to
soul.
blame him.
He lived for 200 years old. I don't want anything. Wish that upon anyone. He's the only. He's the only common denominator.
30 years.
This is
You
this is
there? Everybody. Okay, I froze for a second. You guys back? Am I
I'm back.
back? And then it's stable. Okay, go see you. Let's see where I can close. But Joshua, he's the common denominator. You
No, it makes sense.
understand?
We'll blame him
Right?
and
And then the thing
him and his
is,
son.
he's always meddlesome. Yeah, he's always meddlesome in the people. Now, look, in his defense, you got to give him credit. He's has over 30 years put good talent on that stuff out. How about now? I see you, Joshua. Oh,
I see you.
hello.
I
All
see
right.
you just a little bit
I'll say.
choppy.
All right, we're better. We're better now. Okay. All right. I'm just getting rid of closing some spreadsheets. Um, okay. So what I was saying, Byron, is that he puts good talent on the field.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but is he more interested in the brand, the Dallas Cowboy brand, than actually what? Because if they had never got rid of Jimmy Johnson, Lord knows how many more they would have won with Jimmy Johnson. They'd have won more. Or Bill Parcells, look at the high-profile coaches that they've had there that got out of there because of why? Because of him. He's the reason why a lot of them say, you know what, yeah, I can't do it. Because Jerry Jones wants to take, all the credit for everything. When they won all the Super Bowls, what did he do? Yeah, this was me, me, I'm the great talent evaluator when it was actually Jimmy Johnson, was the guy. And, didn't, they just put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor, last year? They just put him in there. The guy should have been in there decades ago. And what is it all because of ego?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where we think that the problem is. That's a shame. It's a shame. He's had good talent. I mean, you can't deny he's had the most consistent talent than everybody in the East. That's a fair statement. No, Byron?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I'm being disagreeable right now.
Yeah, but if you got to pick out of all those teams, the one who's been consistently with talent has been Dallas. It hasn't been
Yes.
Dallas. It hasn't been the Eagles. It hasn't been Giants. It hasn't been Washington. But we always seem to get in there. One of the NFC teams always seem to get in there. You know what I mean? But
Right.
but that's because they just do bad. So, anyways, all right, let's move on. Any other news in Giant Land?
No, everything's all good in Giant Land for now.
How about Philly?
Everything's all good in Philly. But, they're trying to pick up the offense because it is a new offense with Kellen Moore. Uh, so, they said that Jalen Hurts has had like a little rocky stuff going on, out there. They took James Bradbury, they moved him to safety. So he's getting reps at safety down here. So since they drafted those two, young cornerbacks, so they're trying to work him in a safety and corner. That way, He knows the defense all over. They love Vic Fangio, the new defensive coordinator that they have. They said because he's more like an old school guy, like the old time guy, out there. He talks to him and some of the stuff he does, some of the stuff he wears. So they're picking up the defense, and as far as like with the whole OTA, they're saying that the defense is way ahead of the offense, but most that's like that all time. That the defenses are always and when we played, that it was the defenses were always more advanced this time of the year.
Mhm. Yeah, well, defense to some degree, not to some degree, defense is easier when it comes to playing than it does offense. Not that it's easy, but if you have one or the other, it takes the offense longer time to get their timing, their speed, the plays, and all that adjustments down than it does defense. Would you agree?
Yep.
Right. And then in defense, you're always taught that even if you mess up aggressively, right?
Go full speed.
Full speed, and don't be stuck with your ear in the middle of nowhere, right? In offense, if you mess up, it could be a fumble, it could be a turnover, it could be, like it's more detrimental with the offensive man. You miss a block, the quarterback gets taken out, right? Miss a block, guy gets super hurt, right? I mean, so many things that can happen. If you mishandle the handoff, it's a fumble. If you break to the wrong direction with the quarterback, it's an interception. I mean, so many things that if you do wrong goes on. If you can't, you don't know the play on an audible, the quarterback is dead, right? He's got to check down. So many things can take place. All right, so let's talk about what I got here is let's go over now. Some of this we talked about yesterday. I mean, last week. So Justin Jefferson's now the highest paid quarterback, a receiver, other than a quarterback, making 35 million a year. AJ Brown, 32 million. Amon Ra St. Brown, 30 million. Tyreek Hill, 30. Tyreek's gonna want some of that money. Jay
Nah,
Waddle, big contract, 28 million. Devontae Adams, I didn't realize 28 million. Cooper Cut, 26. Devontae Smith, 25. And I can keep going, but they're all high up there. The highest paid total contract, the highest paid contract though, is Jefferson and Devontae Adams. Tyreek Hill's is number 3, pretty much tied with Amon Ross St. Brown. Mari Cooper's up there at 100 million. Imagine if Dallas kept him, they'd be in big trouble. Okay. AJ Brown's is only worth 96 million. Pretty interesting. He's getting some big dollars up front. You got Ridley at 92 and then Waller at 84 million. Cooper Cup's at 80 and then Keenan Allen. The most guaranteed money, Jefferson at 110 million. AJ Brown 84. And then look at the disparity. This is where the big time it starts changing. You're talking 16. Justin Jefferson is 26 $26 million gap between him and AJ Brown in guaranteed money.
a lot of money.
That's a lot. That's a year's worth of salary, right? So some of these guys are going to be, And then here's what I got here: receivers waiting for contracts is T. Higgins got to get paid. Think about it, right? Off season where receivers. T. Higgins, CD Lamb. Everybody else has got paid. This is a little bit off. Yeah. Do you know who else?
Jamar Chase, I don't think his is up yet.
Lamar Chase is another one. So the receiver market is going to explode. And then there are tons of receivers that keep coming out of the NFL, out of college. How are they going to keep up with that pace?
New deals.
The salary cap keeps going up too, so that helps.
Yeah, but not at that levels. This is some crazy levels. So let me ask you a question, Byron.
Pick and choose
Where
who's
do
gonna
you?
pay.
Okay, so you got Jamar Chase that we didn't talk about last week. You got T. Higgins we didn't talk about, and you got CD Lamb. They have to fit in there. Are they going to be in the top 5? I think Jamar Chase deserves it. He took them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, these top 5.
Okay, T. Higgins is a baller too.
Top
CD
6.
Lamb.
Yeah, both of them are top 5, and Higgins, Higgins is probably top 10, 15
Top
receiver.
10, yeah. hmm So, all right. So let me ask you this: who's your favorite receiver? You had said Joshua.
It used to be Odell. Right now, my favorite receiver probably I like Amar St. Brown. Um, he's emotional, but I like Stephon Diggs a lot. I like him a lot.
I like
Um,
Stephon Diggs. By the
I'm
way,
excited
Diggs
to
is a
see.
good baller too.
I'm excited to see what he does. I'm excited to see what he does in Texas. I
Yeah,
think, like if he can keep his emotions kind of like in check, because there's a lot of people who have to get a touch on that team. But if he can keep that in, play within his role, I think he can have a really fun time with CJ. And they can do some. So I'm excited to see him and what they can do over there in
Let's
Texas.
talk about Diggs for a little bit. I think that Diggs. One thing I like about the Texas Houston's, which I had nothing but to say good about them before, was I think that coach has a good control of that team to turn that team around as fast as he did. And you have a bona fide. He's going to be a superstar. C.J. Stroud, one of the first ones out of Ohio State. Um, I think hopefully they had that talk with him. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here's your role. And I think he went there to be with somebody younger, and be able to. And also, Byron, let me ask you this question. Maybe he went there also because maybe he feels that, I'm going with a younger quarterback that I could kind of groom a little bit or could kind of help, as opposed to, everything was about Josh Allen in
Yeah.
in Buffalo. You know what I mean? Um, so, let's see what happens there. But let me ask you a question, Byron, with the free with the free safety or the safety position going in the way of running backs, right? The receiver market going up. Wouldn't it lend it to believe that if the receiver market is going higher, that the defensive back, the cornerback position is going to have to be the next level of getting paid? Someone's got to cover those guys,
it
That's
should
the man.
be. It should be, but
right? Because there was a time that cornerbacks were like the ultimate that everybody was picking out of the league. They were like the top 5 picks were defensive back quarterbacks.
yeah, Jalen Ramsey was one of them.
Mhm. Yep. Well, there was a lot of quarterbacks at the time that they were picking around the top 5, top 10, right? And they were complaining because remember the college they weren't producing as much quarterbacks as they normally because normally they put the best player in the free safety. Now they're changing it to move them more to corner,
Yeah, but now
right?
they have to be able to play multiple positions. They got to be able to play, in the box. They got to be able to play, cover, people. So that position is changing, and they
And
should
they got to
have,
be bigger.
yeah, a little bit bigger. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, look at what's Patrick Surtain, number 2. I mean, he's a big D back.
he's a big corner. He's big.
He's a big corner. I mean, that's the corner you like. I mean, 6'2", strong, fast. I mean, that's the guy you don't want to get hit by. All right, but I think they're gonna have to start producing. And I think that some receivers. I can't say that because what they're getting paid. But I'm just saying. Normal thought was when I was playing. They were. I was told that the receivers are a dime a dozen. Great defensive backs, there's not a lot, right? You have to be really good to be a good defensive back. And because everybody wants to play receiver, it's not because just the way it was. It was just that everybody wants to play receiver more than defense, right? So everybody wants to play receiver first. So you would have a lot of those. So your opportunities were in defensive backs, in the secondary. Um, but I'm just saying that I think that the next evolution of paid players is going to be because it's not. We know it's not running backs, right? We know it's not safeties, so those two are out, right? We know the quarterbacks are always going to get paid. Now the receivers are going through a rush of getting paid. You got
edge
edge
rushers,
rushers.
they're getting
You got
paid.
edge rushers.
They're getting
They're getting
paid.
paid, right? They're getting paid now. But it's got to be like someone has to defend against these high paid receivers. And if you're playing good defense as a defensive back and you're in a division where you're playing against Jamar Chase or CeeDee Lamb or just, I mean, if I was an agent, say you got to pay my boy. He's covering these guys.
We'll see when
What do
it
you think,
comes
Byron?
to. I was just gonna say we'll see what
Yeah.
happens with Sauce Gardner's contract. When he gets his contract, I think that'll start to kind of tell if the tides are turning towards bigger, like superstar names, getting bigger contracts. And then if he gets hit with one of those, then we know that like, hey, they're matching what receivers are getting because for these backs. 'Cause I think it's a great point. Somebody has to guard these $1 million players.
Yeah.
And then if you guard him, you have a defense to saying, wait a second, that guy's getting paid 35 million. I'm getting paid 4, yet he's not scoring on me.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe.
got to give. I just don't think it'll happen this year. I think this year is going to predict next year's cornerbacks.
Yeah, but Sauce Gardner, like you said, his contract is either this year, next. It's close for him too.
Don't get me wrong, though. Remember, it starts first with somebody, but then it goes in rounds. Because remember, we're talking about high paid receivers now because of Jefferson's contract. But Tariq Hill's contract was no joke, and that was 2 years ago. But the big talk is that so many of them are getting paid. You're talking 35 million. Now it's getting up there. It's really high. I'm not saying they weren't, but now it's escalating. You know what I mean? The whole talk is about how much receivers are getting paid. The talk is that Jerry Jones waited so long to sign CeeDee Lamb. Now he's going to have to pay him. He just signed him earlier.
Yeah.
It's real.
Now he's going to have to pay him, right? So all I'm saying is that Sauce Gardner's going to get his contract, right? And he's going to probably make that argument. But until they get on the field and consistently play against these high-dollar guys, that's why edge rushers get paid a lot, because if they're stymieing the quarterback who's getting paid big dollars, they're able to show their worth, right? I would think that a defensive back is going to be able to show his worth if he's every week coming up against a $35 million player, right?
Yeah.
So, because let's look.
Oh,
But I just think it will happen next year. I'm not sure if it'll happen right this year.
Don't sleep on the Houston Texans receiving court. They were ranked number 1 coming into the season with the 3 that they have: Diggs,
They got Diggs,
Collins, and Tank Dell. Those 3 guys. They were ranked number 1 as far as receiving group so far going into the season.
Yeesh.
Yeah, they're going to be good.
All right, so look at this. You got Byron. Let's see if you know the. I only put 7 of them. So you got the Minnesota Vikings. They're in which conference, Byron?
What?
You know that.
Huh?
The Vikings and the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, same conference. Well, yeah.
What conference? What division are they in?
Oh, Central.
Same division?
Yeah.
But they're in the same division, right?
Yeah. Along with Green Bay
Okay.
and
You got Philly and you got Dallas with CeeDee Lamb. They're in the same conference. You got the Dolphins have 2 top paid receivers, right? And then you got the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
And you got the Rams. I'm just trying to see how many of these guys are in the top are in the same divisions, which the defensive back have to play twice a year. Right. So think about just the AFC East. You're coming across the 2 top 10 receivers. Those defensive backs have to pay them twice a year.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going to be able to show their worth by how they play against these guys. Right. If they get torched, that's what it is. If they play well, they're going to be able to at least get way above than what they're getting now. That's all. All right. Hey, Byron, we started the conversation with the receivers. The edge rushers, anyone coming up that's big other than Michael Parsons?
Will Anderson, might as well go back to Houston, Texas. Will Anderson down there, he's gonna, he's great at Alabama. Who else? Well, of course you got Bosa, both Bosa brothers.
Bosa.
You got Myles Garrett, who's always around.
Bosa was the highest paid player before. Now he's not.
Yeah.
Nick.
T.J. Watt, can't forget him. It's a bunch of those guys out there. The Giants have 2 now. We have Brian Burns and Thibodeau, who said he's going to go for
Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Thibodeau still, that's why when he got picked first, remember our friend Joe Capra was like, he's the next LT. I'm like,
yeah. People was laughing.
I mean, I had that written down. Look at see how Byron laughs because he didn't say it. If Byron would have said it, Joshua, Byron would go, is there videotape of that?
That's
I
right.
want to see the videotape that says I said that. I didn't
Absolutely, I
say
would have
it.
said it.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Uh-uh.
But but since it was someone else, Byron, so let me enjoy this moment. Do you agree? He said that he's the next LT. I'm like,
Yes,
what?
yes, yes. We were like, what? Who? Like, come
The
on, man.
next
Come on.
LT. I'm like, shoot. Look, I like Micah. He ain't no LT. Did
Right.
you know that LT was the first player in history to ever be Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year?
Wow.
Yeah, he was that good.
Yes.
That's really good.
Just think if he didn't do all the craziness off the field, how much better he would have been.
Oh yeah,
Or maybe he didn't
yeah.
have to do that to be as good as he was. So,
I
who
don't
knows?
know. I think he was just in an era of where he was ahead of his time in athleticism, right? Big, strong, fast, you know, everything that you have today. He was like Micah with guys that are not as fast. Because think about it, you got
He,
linemen today that are running 4.6s.
no, a
I
little
mean,
bit
that's
faster. A little faster than that, some of them.
linemen.
Yes.
Okay, imagine. So I'm 4.6 is fast for a big guy, 200 something, 6'5" guy. Now you're saying they're faster? They weren't that fast when ILT was playing.
He was.
LT was. That's what I'm saying. He was ahead of his time.
He was a,
Athletic.
he was the reason why the left tackles are getting paid
That's where the blind side was made from because
because of
after
him.
he broke Eisen's leg, that's when they realized I need left tackles.
And we have to pay these left tackles to block him.
That's why I was saying when you were talking about Evan Neal, I think that Evan Neal was coming out as a left tackle because he was trying to get paid.
No, he came as a right tackle. That's what they picked him as. We already had Andrew
No, but you
Thomas.
said he came out as a left tackle.
Well, no, he played at Alabama as a left tackle. And then when he got to the Giants, they knew they weren't going to put him at left tackle. Andrew Thomas was already there. So they said, hey, well,
Got
he
it.
played right tackle. Let's put him over there. It ain't worked out. He's awful. I'm bring that up again.
All right. So let's wrap this up. Let's get a little bit into the NBA. You ready, Byron?
Well, first we got to start there. You said you went to St. John's, right?
I did. I did.
Remember Mike Anderson,
Yep.
head coach? Yeah, he played when I played at Tulsa.
Okay, nice. Super
Yeah,
dope.
he was a player. Then back with Nolan Richardson and that whole crew when they won the NIT and all that other stuff back in the day. Yeah, I know Mike Anderson very well.
So I was a manager for the men's team right before Mike jumped on staff. I was with Coach Norm Roberts and I was with Steve Lavin. And then Mike came through.
Yeah,
But definitely good tenure. Political moves down there in Queens, man. They didn't do my man right, but I think he set a good foundation for what the program is becoming into over the last couple of years.
yeah.
I enjoyed the St.
I,
John's when Mullen was there, when Mark Jackson. Those were my times with St. John's.
Those boys.
Chris Mullen lit that program up. He put them on the map.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chris Mullen, it was a fun time when he was lighting it up, man. I don't think the 3-point was in yet in college when he played, was it?
Nope.
They said he would have crushed the numbers if 3-point line was there when he played.
Hmm.
I mean, think about it. This guy, you don't think of Chris Mullins much. I always remember, but he was on the dream team. I
Yep.
mean, you don't make the dream team, I mean, without getting through Michael.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Isaiah Thomas knows that for a fact.
yeah, exactly. So for Chris Mullins to be on the dream team, Chris Mullins was a ball. You know what I mean? Chris Mullins was one of my favorite lefty shooters. They just said that if the 3-point line was in college, I don't think anyone would stand to break it, even catch his records because he was hitting bombs before they were bombs. But all right. So, go ahead, Byron.
I'm gonna date myself. Pistol Pete would have broke. They wouldn't have never touched his record. They had the 3-point when he played. Pistol Pete
That's true.
Maravich. Yeah, they
Yeah, yeah.
because he 44 points a game he averaged back. Yeah, they would have never
Oh,
touched it. They would have never touched the
he's
record.
44 points without 3-point line.
Yes, that's a lot of shooting.
That was in college.
Yes,
So
and
if you just take part of that, he would average like 70 points if you think
and, it,
about it.
and you figure he only
Right?
played
Because
three.
you gotta let's say you add just half of those 44 points, you would give him one more point, right? That would give him 66 points.
Because he only played 3 years because they couldn't play as freshman. So he did that in 3 years. The amount of points that he scored.
Right. So think about it. 44. If you just take that in half, it's 21. Yeah, 21 to 44. You got 65 points. Because all I'm doing is adding 1 point. You know what I mean? Extra point.
It also helped that his
I don't know
father
if that's right.
it also helped that his father was the head coach. So go ahead, shoot, my man.
Shoot that thing, my man.
Yeah, but if you make it, who cares? Like it's the old saying, like if that's a dumb play, unless it works,
Yeah.
right? Right? That's a dumb shot, but if it went in, oh, well, that's okay. It was a good shot, right? All right, so let's go. We got the NBA happening. Byron, you picked the Mavericks to win.
I did
How many games?
6
Not bad.
Mavericks in 6.
and 6. Mavs in 6.
I'm right there on
What
board
do you
with you.
got, Joshua?
I'm right there on board with them. Dallas played amazing on the road this entire playoffs, so I'm not worried about a nail in the coffin on the road, or at home. If they do it right, if they can sneak one,
And Boston plays terrible at home.
yeah,
And Boston has played terrible at home.
yeah, because they love jumping into great leads and then they let up the lead in the fourth. And Dallas is a really good comeback team, so if we're gonna see a lot of that in this series. We might see a good 20-point lead, and then all of a sudden Dallas is just climbing back slowly. And then in the fourth quarter, you cannot stop a moving train that is Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving playing tag team for 12 minutes. You just can't stop it. So I think Boston's going to run it. If Boston does not maintain their lead in their games and put Dallas away early, they will be surprised in that fourth quarter.
Well, let me on paper, Celtics got a better team. Like their players they have more star power on their team than Dallas. But I think Dallas is I think Jason Kidd's a great coach, and I think Dallas has put away the West is harder, right? Not to say that the NBA just West is harder. Sad part is I do like Jason Tatum, but I like the Mavericks. I like Luka. I mean, the kid's pro it since he was 13. I'll be honest with you. I haven't liked Kyrie until now. Like, he's changed,
He's a
right?
Jersey.
You have that.
He's a Jersey guy, man. Come on, man. You gotta like a Jersey guy.
He's doing it for the city.
Kyrie. Kyrie's from Jersey.
He's from Jersey.
Yeah.
Where is he from?
What? St.
Unknown.
Anthony's up north.
He went to St. Anthony's.
One of those schools.
He went to play with Bob Harley.
No.
Bob Harley.
I gotta look that one up. I know he's from up north.
Look that up. Here, wait a second. You got to admit, the reason why I like Kyrie now, at least at this moment, is he's owned his poor behavior in the past.
Oh,
Elizabeth.
He hasn't made an excuse. He hasn't denied it. He's accepted it, and he's always played well. But he's now played a full year. He's playing awesome basketball. I mean, I like the story of him and Doncic. Like, I like that they like each other. I mean, think about who he's played with: LeBron, Haiti, Harden. I mean, he's been with guys that just you know, even when I told my son thought Brooklyn was going to be guaranteed by starting out the conversation if they stay healthy. Like, that's just mentally you're already done. In my case, right? You can't if it. You can't if yourself, right? And look what happened. That was a total implosion. And then just how he was behaving and all that. Then they got him for a steal because nobody was hunting him down.
Yeah. Oh man, what a Mark Cuban. What a great Mark Cuban move, huh?
Yeah,
Great
no
Mark
doubt,
Cuban
man.
move.
Yeah.
And then you can see that him and Kyrie are actually they're fond of each other. Like, they're respectful of each other. Kyrie's saying all the right things, and you got to appreciate. To me, that's a player that's turned around with maturity,
True.
and he's owned it. He didn't deny it. He didn't act like I don't care what you think. Some players come across that way. Well, you should care because I don't get it. You know. Those superstars get paid because of fans like us, right? Without the fans, they can't get paid those big contracts.
Like us.
Right.
I don't pay. I ain't gonna pay to go no game.
Well, I do. I pay to get games. You pay to watch them. I don't care what you do. One way or another, you're paying, Byron.
I ain't
If
paying.
you're tuned, if
I'm
you're
not paying.
tuned in, you are. If
I'm
you're
not
tuned
paying.
into, are you gonna watch the game?
No,
You're lying.
Byron's watching the
I,
game's on right now.
the game's on now.
I'm watching it as we talk. It's right
Hey,
here.
uh, listen,
Right here.
I think this series is going to be really good. There's some really good storylines for this season, right? We got Kristaps for Porzingis, which I got to see if he's playing today or not, but you could probably tell me. Seeing if he comes back, then we got him versus Dallas. That's nice. Kyrie back in Boston. Would love to see what that energy's been like so far. But I think all in all, we got like a really good playoff, a finals matchup in a season where it could have been anybody's season. I felt like this year, like the teams were evenly matched up, and I couldn't call a winner too early. It could have been the Nuggets, could have been
Could have been eight Timberwolves.
could have been the Timberwolves, it could have been a healthy Bucks, right? We sleep on a healthy Bucks. It could have been a sneaky healthy Miami. So I think that we got like a really good finals matchup. I'm excited to see, but I think it's 6 Mavs for sure.
Mhm. And look, and listen, and I like Jason Tatum because here's the other reason why I didn't like Kyrie before. When Kyrie went to Boston, the year before he went to Boston, Jason Tatum was already lighting up. I was like, man, that kid's really good. Kyrie goes there, Jason Tatum disappeared. Disappeared. Like I'm like, what happened to this guy? Kyrie leaves, Jason Tatum becomes the star he is.
It's too many touches. That team already has too many touches. Tatum, like, because you have to factor in Jaylen Brown was also there too, creeping and waiting for his touch as well. So all these guys are going to disappear when like a megastar comes in, and now we get to see Tatum blossom because it's less touches. Drew Holiday's only putting up 12 points. He doesn't need the ball. He doesn't need to shoot that thing, right? So you have to think like your point
They're going to
guard,
need him for this series.
you're going to need him. You're going to need him in a couple of different capacities. But Tatum gets more touches because nobody else on the team is shooting outside of Jaylen Brown. If he had Kyrie, there's no way. Kyrie needs a couple of touches. But what's crazy is now in Dallas, Kyrie doesn't need as many touches. Different guy. And that's the maturity and that's the growth. Like he no longer needs to put up 20 points. He just
Yeah, but let me tell you what he has been though. Remember, him and Luka have been scoring 30 in several
they
games,
scored 30,
and
but
and,
he
they,
had
and
two games that series at
they've been
12.
taking turns. It's true, but he's then look at his assists. I mean, those two are combining for like 70% of the production
No,
from
it's
points and assists. I mean, so everything goes through those two. You know what I mean? And Kyrie's making like those left-handed shots. I've never seen somebody make so many opposite-hand shots that are super sweet that he's been making. Right? I mean, and his passes, and then Luca passes is they're crazy. You know, man, he's a 6'7" guard,
That's what I just found out
250
today.
pounds,
I thought he was bigger. You know, just like the way he played. It just
bigger than
like he was.
6'7".
I thought it. No, but I thought he was bigger than that. I thought he was at least 6'10" or 6'11". Just some of the things he
Uh,
does, and it's like,
that's
and I'm looking
Magic
at like,
Johnson.
wow, that's six, and it's not. It's like he's moving in slow motion when he does it. Most of the stuff, but it works. It's like
It
kind of.
works.
I'm not gonna say like it's Larry Bird because Larry Bird was really efficient at what he did. But it's just that for a guy that's 6'7", he just plays and just looks bigger than what he really is.
He has a patient game, you know. But what I
Ooh,
don't understand is I just don't understand. And look, you can't, man, I can't talk. I'm not a professional NBA player. Professional basketball players are probably one of the best athletes that are out there. Then again, they can't necessarily transition to the NFL like the conversation we had the other day. But just in general, they are better athletes in general, right? Because you gotta go run forward, backwards, sideways, jump. You know, you have to do more things as opposed to football is more forward motion, right? Um, but um, shoot, I lost for a second. I was talking with Luca. Um,
Luka's game and his patience with his game and how it's effective.
it, Yeah, he beats you from the inside, he beats you from the outside, he beats you with his passing, right? He talks smack, and then he's funny because we talk about it, say that I talk Slovenia. He's like he doesn't like just gets away with it. You know what I mean? He's not in your face. He's in the moment, and he doesn't talk bad about a guy afterwards. You know what I mean?
My
Um,
only issue with him is that his complaints to the referees. I could literally live without watching him complain after every.
he's a whiner.
He's a whiner, right? And that's like, I don't know if that's. I don't even want to talk about if that's an American thing versus European thing. I think everybody just complains, right? But like, I don't like the manner in which he complains because he's so damn good, right? Like, and so it's just like, hey man, you know that you're probably not gonna get the calls that you're looking for. Just give us 40. That's what we're here for. However you get it, just do
Yeah,
that.
but you got to admit that the refereeing in the early games of the playoffs was really bad.
Oh, it's terrible refereeing. Terrible.
Byron, would you agree? I mean, Indiana got, I'm happy New York won, but, Indiana got the bad end of those
Yeah,
refs
yeah, yeah. They
in the
got him.
first two games. I
Yeah, they
mean,
got him.
they were blatantly bad refing. I mean, I was getting concerned because then the whole playoffs would have been about bad refing.
Right.
It
We don't need
started to get weeding out when they got to the higher brackets. You know what I mean? So, but they got to do something about that with the refs, right? They can't let that be in the hands of the refs like that because that kind of hurts the team. You know what I mean? Um, and you shouldn't leave the game in the refs' hands to begin with, but when it's blatant like that, it affects your team, right? It affects your mindset, affects everything. Um, but this is an interesting. We got a lot of dynamics in this game, right? Also, like I said, I like Jason Kidd. I like the Dallas Maverick organization. I think Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban sold the team. He's a consultant, right? He's still running operations, but he sold it for a couple billion.
I wonder how much
Yeah.
money. How much are they paying him, or is he doing it for free? Because he doesn't
No.
own the team now.
Well, he got paid billions, and Mark
That's
Cuban's
tough.
not one of those guys.
I think he's
I don't know what they're
okay.
paying. Yeah, I think he's fine. I think he just loves, being part of it. I don't blame him. And he's on the mission. And you also got to give him credit. If he wins another championship, you're going to win the championship built around a foreign player,
Yeah,
Two
another
times.
one.
right? Look at how the league has changed. Like, some of the top players are all foreign,
Yeah. I was thinking about
right? I
that. I
mean,
was thinking about that today as I was doing some research. I was like, our last MVPs all been international. And I was like,
right,
when they were
international
talking
players.
about the face of the league in the next couple of years, I really had a thought. And I was like, is it actually going to be potentially a non-American? And what does that mean for the
You mean the
state of
league? Face the
basketball?
league, down America?
Face the league would
Um,
probably be you got three people to run through, right? Quickly. Jokic, Giannis, Luka.
no. What about Victor? What about Victor? What's his name?
Victor, French,
Victor.
Shea,
I can't say his last name. What's it? Ibrahimov?
Wembanyama,
Something.
Wembanyama,
Wembanyama. That's
French,
another one. That's four.
SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He's from Canada. Okay, so
Five.
like when we talk about like
Wait a second. Giannis?
Giannis, Greece, right?
I mean,
So
as you keep going, right? Where's Embiid from?
who's our runner up? Anthony, like our best American right now today, we would probably say Anthony Edwards, sure. But he has to run through 7 powerful foreign monsters to be the face of the league.
Yeah.
That's a tough ask.
Yeah.
So state of
I think
basketball
he's
today,
got the ability. That dunk he made was Michael Jordan-esque. I
Whoa, whoa,
mean,
whoa,
that was
whoa, oh, don't compare that.
the dunk, not comparing them, but that
Wait,
dunk was Michael Jordan-esque. I mean, he literally rolls. It almost looked like Jordan.
no, I think the John Starks dunk over Jordan back in the day was a little bit better.
You didn't, okay, but did you not see?
what?
Yes, I did.
You see that? Did you use that
That's
Edwards
amazing.
dunk? Thing, dude, his
Yeah,
his
I did.
feet were like at the shoulders of the other player.
But
I mean, that was a power dunk.
the John Starks, though, that was, come on.
No, that was a good one.
I think live for our storyline of the Dallas Mavericks, Kristaps Porzingis comes in the game off the bench, 8 quick points. Spicy. Spicy, spicy, spicy.
Let's
It's gonna
talk.
be a good
I don't think. Listen to me. You got to the surprise for me, Dallas has done a good job of building this team. Those two centers, like I didn't realize how big they were. You're just taking them for granted. They had so many alley-oops with that kid, that 7-1 and that second. I mean, they were beautiful plays. You know, we're taking it for granted that Kristoff is 7-3, but Dallas has got two 7-1 hoppers. These guys can get up.
And they're
They
hockey
block
subs.
passes. Yeah, they have,
Hockey subs.
you take for granted because they're forgotten about. Because you're thinking of, you got Kyrie, you got Anderson, you got Luca, you got, their team is pretty stacked. But then you bring these two centers in that are long, athletic, and can lead. It's almost you forget about them until they do something, and they're always doing something.
They're
So,
always doing something. They're active. They're active, I think, on the offensive end. I'm worried about them defensively, right? Because of the type of players Boston has, right? They're big stretch out. So like they're a threat outside. I don't know if Gafford and the Lively's can contest as well defensively, but offensively, you can't stop that pick and roll lob. Why? Because you have Kyrie and Luca tandem. One of them are running a pick and roll. You're cooked four ways. You know what I mean?
I think they set a record, didn't they, in the playoffs for the most lob dunks?
I wouldn't.
In back-to-back games, it was like four. They went 2 games in a row with 4 lob dunks each game. I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot in an NBA game.
Like the last team to do that was Lob City Clippers. Blake Griffin, Andre Jordan.
By the way, speaking of Clippers, that's disappointing, man. Like Kawhi, it's just he broke my heart, man. Like they're saying that he's not even. Sometimes he's not even. He's even hurting his coach. Like his coach has got to face the disgust. Like Kyrie will be playing one game, the next game he's not eligible. I mean, what's Ty Lue going to do what is up with him, man? And I like him. He was
injury is really bad though.
He was on top of the world. Really bad.
He shouldn't be. He should have probably taken a year off or a year and a half off and not come back. The on and off, it's a terrible knee injury. So like him forcing it really is just like making this whole thing worse. Like when it first happened, you should have just chilled out, recover properly, and then come back. But the on and off, like you said, it breaks my heart because he had a really good season, but it couldn't sustain to the end into the playoffs.
There's moments where that team looks unstoppable. I mean, there's moments that him, Paul George, Harden, that it was working. That was Brooklyn the way Brooklyn was supposed to be.
I don't like Paul George. I think Paul George is a fraud.
I like Paul George.
I like him.
He lit it up this year. He took him to he carried the team.
Inconsistently. If you look through, it's a very inconsistent carry. Like he goes nights with 13, nights with 14. And you're like, Paul,
what are you doing?
So
that's my problem with Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler, the last few years he's been doing what he has to do. But the problem I had with Jimmy Butler before was when Dwayne played, there was no confusion that there was going to be a quarter he's going to take over. He's going to either start the game by taking over. He's going to end the game taking over. But he's going to dominate a quarter. Yeah. And there's times that I feel like you're waiting for Jimmy to come in. Now, he's been doing it for the last couple of years in the playoffs, which I've been happy with. But then, there's times that he just, we'll have this big lead. Think about it. You were talking about giving leads up. How many leads this year did Miami have? 20-point leads and lose. And I think Spoelstra's the only coach. Do you know Spoelstra's never won Coach of the Year? I can't understand how that could be possibly happen.
Outside, I gotta see what was happening during his years. Who else was coaching their tails off during the years of LeBron and D Wade? But outside of that, I know I'm saying I want to see.
He's been back to the championship with 6 undrafted players.
No, that's what I'm saying. I want to see who did that. I want to see who they said no, this guy was better than Spoelstra this year. I got to see during those years. Who are they saying?
It's always a guy who had a shitty year and has a better year, and he's coach of the year, which does make it like the year that Jimmy Johnson won coach of the year in the NFL. They were 1-15. And I think he still had a losing season, and he going coach of the year. Well, you win 2 games, you won them by 100%. I mean, so like, come on. But you got to look at the whole picture, like what this coach has done with the talent he has. Spoelstra goes deep into his bench, and the Heat organization, plus with Spoelstra, get a lot of their players. Look at all the players that were undrafted are playing other teams. They're starters. Matt
Right.
Strus.
Gabriel
I
Vincent.
mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But they're still playing. They're still playing. They're still playing at NBA level,
No.
right? And they're starting, and they're putting in points, right? They may not be superstars, but they're contributing to other teams. That was through Miami's development program,
No,
right? The guy who's kind of disappointed me that's fell off is Duncan Robinson, but he started playing really well this year. He started getting an inside game. You know what I mean?
Duncan. Duncan's a
Duncan.
thief.
I
Duncan's a
like
thief.
him.
Duncan
Why?
stole. I remember vividly when Duncan got his contract extension, and I was like, this guy just stole some money because I knew that he was not going to produce. It was like an outlandish shooter's contract. And then the following season,
I think he got 95 million in the following season,
outlandish
but this year he did well.
based off of injury. So,
Yes, he did well this year, and he's developing. But Miami's going to develop his play. He's also playing better. He's doing more than just 3-point shooting now. That's what's helped,
yeah.
right? But we need him to light it up. I like Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero did a great job in Jimmy's absence. He kind of carried him. And then I have to
He
be
can stay
honest with you
healthy.
though. Yeah, but to be honest with you, the player that kind of disappoints me a little bit that I would like to see more dominant offensively is Bam.
Ah, another
And
Robert.
yeah,
Another
but he's
Robert.
great. No, no, no. Dude, he's a defensive monster, dude. Look at his blocks. Look at his defensive presence. I like it. I think he should be
I,
doing better
I love
offensively.
he should be doing better. That I think he's okay with being mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Like he's okay with averaging 18 and 10 and 5, but it's like, brother, you're a 25 and 12 capacity type of guy, and you shoot the thing really well. He shoots it well. That mid-range is a good touch.
They should leave the game and know they played against.
Yeah. He needs to leave way more of an impact. Like, oh, we
Yeah,
got
like when they leave the game, win or lose, they're like, shit, fucking Bam got his. And it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
seem
We
that
need
way.
to feel like, yeah, Bam, like you have a name like Bam, like we should feel like Bam went crazy, like every
Yeah,
time
yeah,
it's Bam.
exactly, exactly. All right, well, we're getting ready. This thing's getting ready to kick. I'm surprised it hasn't started yet.
They got to do all the stuff. The national anthem, this one,
They're,
the
they're, they're waiting.
slogan.
They're waiting. They're waiting for me.
Yeah, to wait for you. Yeah.
All right. So Byron, what do you think is going to be the next big contract? You think someone's going to break Justin Jefferson's contract? You think someone's going to get paid more, equal, or you think there will be another receiver that will break what Justin Jefferson got this year?
Yes.
Who would it be?
Jamar Chase.
Wow. Wow.
He's been putting up numbers since he's been there. He's got his guy,
Yep.
Joe Burrow.
And he went to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
He took the team farther than any other team except for AJ Brown. AJ Brown went to Super Bowl. Yes.
Yeah, lost. Just like Chase
So
went.
did Jamar Chase.
Yeah, they lost.
We're gonna have to circle back on that.
What?
I gotta look at that. I want to see what that contract's like.
For
Because
who?
for Chase, I want to see what he gets. And if it's more than Jefferson.
I think it's gonna be more.
I would be,
Yeah.
I would be, I would be, I would be like, wow, okay, cool. Is that based off of performance, or is that based off of the climate of the contracts, or is that based off of what? Right? Because as of right now, I feel like Jefferson is deserving of the number, right? And so, like, if I look at Jefferson versus Chase, I don't know if Chase is as good as he's as good as Jefferson in play, right? But like he doesn't have the same opportunities as Jefferson to shine. So I would be shocked to see like, he doesn't produce the same way, I feel like.
Well, Jefferson has the other receiver. He has Addison, the other number one pick on the other side. So they do have a good receiver there. So, but the only problem that he's going to have now is they really doesn't have a quarterback. I think it's Sam Darnold is going to be the starting quarterback with JJ
Yes.
McCarthy is the backup. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting in Minnesota, as far as him getting all the touches. but Chase still has Joe Burrow and what they have, in Cincinnati. So it's
So
like
let me
a
answer.
shift.
Let me answer. Okay, sorry, Byron. Go ahead.
Uh, I'm good.
Okay, so look, Justin Jefferson has played 15 more games than Jamar Chase. Average 7 receiving yards. What is this? It says receptions 392 Justin Jefferson versus 268. So has he been in the league longer? Um, oh my God. Yeah, Brian, look at this. Receiving yards. 5,899 for Jefferson, 3717 for Chase.
He's
I mean,
he's
that's
getting his.
I'm just saying that's a huge disparity.
It is.
Receiving yards, 15, 13. Receiving TDs, 30, 29. So Jamar Chase gets in the end zone.
Yeah, but
He
you
Rushing
gets in
have
the
into
end zone.
you have CD Lamb. I think he's probably about 5,300 yards. He's somewhere in there, like 5,300.
I was gonna say CD might get the contract that you think Chase might get.
Ah,
Dallas has the money. Dallas got to pay their star receiver. I
yeah.
see CD getting paid off of the climate, not off of what he can produce.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
it'd be
and
interesting, you know what I mean? Somebody's getting paid.
Jamar Chase has been to 3 Pro Bowls and 1 All Pro. Justin Jefferson's 3 Pro Bowls and 3 All Pro. Byron, what's the All Pro?
Where let's see, the Pro Bowl is the one where the players pick and the fans
Yeah,
pick. The
yeah,
All
yeah.
Pro is
That's the
like
All Star game, right?
the All
Yeah.
Pro is like with the news people and and you're picked by your peers pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, and then off AP Offensive Player of the Year was Justin Jefferson.
Jamar Chase, man, that's my guy.
No,
All
I
right.
like Jamar.
I
Don't get me
like.
wrong. But
I
but but
need Chase to get some more touches.
let me give you Josh the answer of what it is. I think it's the contract climate. I think it's one, and two, it's making sure Burrows is secure, right? Because they got to make Burrows happy, right?
Yeah.
And Burrows is their golden boy. And Burrows, he's proven to be the beast in their place, which is um, damn, I can't forget my Patrick Mahomes.
As
Like,
long as
he beat him in Patrick Mahomes' backyard.
as as long as he doesn't get hurt, that's the problem.
That is
Yeah.
true. I'm just trying to answer his question. Theoretically, it's a place of contracts, and it's more of hey, we got to protect this, especially Cincinnati is not used to winning so much, right? So they have to do it. That's the only thing I can see, right? And
Yeah.
Jerome Burrows has always said because look, when I'm in trouble, look for Jamar, and they're boys. I mean, they come from LSU. I mean, you know, yeah. Burrows picked up the phone and called Chase. You ready?
Yeah.
That must be the greatest feeling to be already a pro and then call your buddy while he's in college and tell him we're coming for you. I get chills thinking about that was
I
me.
love. That's what I'm saying.
I
I
was
love
on either
storyline.
side of the players. That storyline is awesome,
Yeah.
right?
Story.
Jamar Collins, his boys from LSU, come on down and look what they do. And they delivered results together.
Yeah. Pay that man. Pay that man, Byron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just Jefferson, the thing with Jefferson that concerns me is like what Byron said, they don't have a quarterback.
That's once he said that, that scared me, and that immediately was like, hey, that's a bad investment. That's a really bad
But
investment.
you can't throw the ball to yourself.
What are we gonna do here?
Yeah. Well,
What are we gonna do here?
maybe that entices the quarterback to come there. I don't know what they're thinking. Then
That's
again,
yeah.
it's Minnesota.
They
I
they got
honestly didn't think Justin Jefferson was going to stay with Minnesota. I
they
thought
got
he was going to get traded somewhere.
they got JJ McCarthy, man. It'll be all right.
Oh, Minnesota?
Yeah,
Oh, they got the next Tom Brady.
yeah, allegedly.
We'll see.
one.
Michigan quarterbacks are okay. It's not like they
And,
haven't. There's been a lot of them that haven't done well.
and then the other receiver we keep forgetting about gets disrespected is Brandon Ayuk out there, San
Ooh.
Francisco. They've been trying to trade him.
Pay that man.
He's another one. Don't want to
Pay
pay him.
that man.
Yeah, but where do you pay them? It goes back to your question, like where do we put these guys in the mix, right? It's a lot of
He's a
money, buddy.
little. He's a little bit
The two
underwater.
players on the team are going to be crazy. Yeah, but I think Miami's in trouble. Miami's got to pay. Tyreek's going to want a new contract.
Nah,
Tua has not accepted his contract.
I don't think he's gonna want more money right now. Tariq, no.
It depends what they do this year, man. If they can make some noise with that core, we'll see.
We gotta see. I mean, I think that you know, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I like to see Aaron Rodgers play a full year. See what happens.
Ah, yeah.
I don't want him to get hurt. I just want to see him play a full year.
That'd be nice, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see a guy like that be gone for 2 years and then done. Like, did you forget the last time you saw him play?
Yeah, no, he's an animal. We deserve some action this year from him.
I like to.
I'm gonna start again. He still only has one Super Bowl. I don't care how great he is. He's got one.
No doubt. He's only got one Super Bowl. They were asked, who would you rather be, Peyton Manning? I mean, Eli Manning or Aaron Rodgers? They all picked Eli. It's about the rings. It's about the rings. It's
And
about
Eli
the
got
ring.
two.
And two MVPs.
Yep.
So on the biggest stage, he was the biggest man. Right? Even Peyton said that, look, Eli's better quarterback than Peyton, right? He goes, just Eli didn't like studying like Peyton did. Like Peyton was studious of the game, right? Peyton just played. So we'll see what happens. Well, hey Joshua, I really appreciate you coming on our show. Hope you enjoy yourself.
Had a great time, man. I love talking shop. Really enjoyed talking to you guys. I think this is great that you guys get to do this and between, I mean, two friends from a long time. I think this is what it's all about. So I love seeing it. Love being a part of it.
Long time.
Yeah, you're gonna see us go at it from time to time. We were nice today.
Oh yeah. Listen, it wouldn't be sports talk if we don't go at it.
Yeah, and then you should saw last if you get a chance, this is the last week's show because we have a buddy of ours that's a Philly fan, and that was the first time he's been on since we had the chance to talk to him when Philly just bombed it out. And then me and Byron, I think Byron, that was one of my funniest shows. We were because all the Philly fans, and he kept saying, "Don't worry, they're gonna turn on the switch. They're playing the roper dope. They're all this stuff, and like they're gonna turn it on. They're gonna turn it on." And we're like,
Still wait.
man, we're still in the room, pretty dark out there. You know, and Byron and I were both at the same time. They're turning the switch. Where's the switch? We don't hear the switch. I was laughing so because you could tell Byron and I were chomping at the bits
Wait
for him to
for
come
him
back
to
on our show. I'm talking about months. Think about it. Since football season ended, months to be on the show at the same time. And then we let the show go, and then finally we got around to that. And then both Byron and I were like, "Turn on the switch. Where's the switch?" And he was pretty reserved. I give him credit. I give him a lot of respect, Eric. I love you to death. He was more reserved than we thought. And hey, they shored up. There's no reason they don't win the conference, right? Especially historically, no one's won the conference back to back. So therefore, with that said, Dallas shouldn't win it. Therefore, it should be Phillies to lose. And if they don't, Sirianni's going to go. I think he's on the hot seat. He could
wait for a job.
You think? You think Belichick's going to be back coaching?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
And you think he'd go to Philadelphia?
Yep.
Why?
Ready made to win. They just need that right coach, man, pushing the button. That's what the problem is. You figure they had to fire both, fire both the offensive and defensive coordinator. Bring him in, let him run the defense. That's his thing. Get the right offensive coordinator, and he probably could do that with that team.
Well, he definitely shore up the defense, and they got defensive players to play, right? And when they lost the Super Bowl, they lost the Super Bowl from the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
They lose it from the offensive side. And, you got to see if Jalen Hurts stays healthy, right? And doesn't hide it.
Yeah.
They can't hide it because he was hurt last year, and they kept saying he wasn't. But he wasn't playing the way he normally plays. And he improved every year except for last year. He got better every single year since he came into the league, except for last year.
And don't forget, J.C. Kelsey retired, so that's going to be a big loss, as far as that leader on the offensive line. So it's going to be a little different without him.
He got pushed right out. He got pushed to retirement.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. Come back on the show as we continue talking about the NBA Finals and the NFL. Byron, we're starting to get a little bit more heated up with some great conversation that we have. We didn't have a chance to go over some of the data you put on, but we'll try to catch that next week. Gentlemen, you have a great night. Don't forget, our show is every Thursday please post this out there for us, Joshua. Let people know. Every Thursday at what time, Byron? 8
o'clock.
p.m.
There you go.
8 p.m.
8 o'clock.
8 p.m. live. You can see, go to YouTube. If you like it, smash the likes button, follow us, hit the notifications. Welcome to the show. And thank you. God bless, gentlemen. Have a great night. And Jersey Boys Sports Talk signing out. Take care. Peace.
Yeah. Bye.